Yo, what's good, guys? It's Powerbang. We're going to try something here because you know what? My game is a little bit out of service right now. I don't know what's going on or if any of you guys have seen this, but I did confirm that the developers have told me I have a bit of an issue with PUBG Mobile and I'm not going to be able to log in until they get it fixed. But rest assured, they are working on it and they will be, getting me back to videos here shortly. But check out what I'm dealing with just so you guys know why I may not have made videos for the past couple of days. My account is apparently logged in with a newer version of the game, and while you might say update, I am unfortunately updated. When I click OK, you can see the version in the top of the screen. I am on the latest version, and I can't log in. And then it tells me I can't log in. Wait, I don't know. It's a mess, but hopefully PUBG will have me back into the game momentarily. But that being said, guys, we're gonna hop in to the new update, Miramar 2.0. We're gonna talk about it a little bit in this episode. I want to do a full review and give you guys my thoughts, yay, nay, or meh. So yeah, I want to give kind of either positive feedback, negative feedback, or just kind of neutral feedback on each and every new feature in the game. So that being said, we're gonna hop over to the patch notes for 0.18.0 for PUBG Mobile. And obviously the Sandstorm is the latest news in the game. We have the big dust storm of sand that has started to blow its way into Miramar. There's a live stream happening right now, a 24-hour event with loot drops. So you guys might go check that out on the PUBG Mobile official channel. You can find them on any platform basically at PUBG Mobile. But that being said, guys, Sandstorm is blinding. It is very chaotic, very difficult to see. I like the effect that they're going for here, but I do hope that there is some sort of climax to this impending sandstorm that has been coming for the past week or so. So we'll wait and see on that. Overall, I think PUBG has done a great job with this update, kind of doing things a little bit differently than they have in the past as far as the build-up to a particular feature launch or product launch or new, map or whatever it happens to be. Much better job on the marketing side, much better on the execution side, but I still feel like the content is going to miss the mark a little bit on the climax, but we'll keep our eyes on that moving forward. Winchester 94 has got a new 2.7 times scope. Love this. Absolutely love this. The Winchester 94 is now one of my favorite weapons in the game. I love the bolt action sniper rifles, and so adding a lever action to this mix, fantastic. That being said, it does not come without its drawbacks. The Winchester gun skin that you put on the actual weapon causes a little bit of a glitch. First of all, it's a very, very small scope, and that's obviously irritating because the target is not as large as it should be. And secondly, there is a little bit of a crosshair shake when trying to attack. And now I've experienced this myself, and it is quite frustrating, but the team is on it, and hopefully it will be fixed soon. But verdict is in. Winchester scope, very, very good thing. Next up, we've got the Canted sight. That is now available. It's a small, similar to a red dot sight that you can equip with other scopes and then do a quick switch function to put that Canted sight on. So essentially you could rock a larger scope like a 4X, 6X, 8X, and then quickly switch over to the red dot. I think this is cool, but I also don't know why you wouldn't just rock the red dot or do the quick scope switch feature, which is literally in the game to just click from the red dot. I feel like it's saving one click instead of clicking and confirming which scope you'd like to switch to. It's a little bit faster, but I don't think it's quite as effective. So the Canted sight, I'm a little bit neutral on. I'm happy to see it get into the game as it is moving us closer to the PC version. But again, I'm not thrilled about it and probably won't use it very often myself. Next up, we've got the new Classic Mode content, Jungle Adventure and Sandhawk, available soon. Not sure why that's even in the notes or the highlights here because it's clearly not in the game yet. And also the new customizable weapon system with gun craft finishes. I don't know if gun craft is just poor English or if there's actually crafting guns, but who knows? Also available soon. I just want them to bring the visualization back, right? Where they bring the, what do they call that? The armory back into the game, and you can see every single gun and all of the skins available for that gun. Even the ones you don't have unlocked yet, really miss that feature. I used it a lot for my thumbnails. So please, PUBG Mobile, bring back the armory. Much appreciated. Next up, we've got the new weapon, which is the P90 in arena mode. And now I have not actually used this yet because, well, been locked out of my game for the past couple of days, and that was actually one of my next videos, was the P90 and utilizing this to get a feel for it. I've got a couple of thoughts on this so far. It's an iconic submachine gun used in most games out there. The P90 is a 50-round submachine gun. It's got those 3 fire modes, single, auto, and burst. And I really like this gun typically in most other games. Although, again, caveat, I have not used it yet in PUBG Mobile. That being said, I am a little bit frustrated with the limited access to the P90. It is only available in arena mode, which means that probably 80% of the player base will never touch it, as arena mode is just not as popular as the classic modes. Now, I really hope that a lot of these, guns, the QBU, QBZ, any map-specific gun, basically. The G36 is another great example. I wish those start to, trickle out. I know, which region is it? Korea, maybe? I think it's the Korean version where Mini Zone is actually back in the game, and Mini Zone is played on a wrangle, but all of the weapons from all of the maps are available. So you can be rocking G36s, you can be rocking the QBZs, all on a wrangle, and that's pretty tremendous. And I hope that the P90 does not get relegated to some sort of, purgatory where it just never gets used because not too many people are playing arena mode. So, love the gun, hope it gets used more, hope to see it in more features. Next up, we've got the Royale Pass Season 13 Toy Playground, available May 13th. I haven't seen the whole Royale Pass just yet. I am excited to see that it is available today, actually, as you're seeing this. It's going to be coming out probably about, I would say, 15 hours from right now. So that is going to be interesting. Definitely going to get it, assuming I can log into my game again. So if at some point I could get into my game, that would be wonderful. Next up, we've got the Blue Hole mode, which is the brand new Evo Ground experience, available soon. Blue Hole mode, brand new Evo Ground. I assume Blue Hole being the developer of PUBG PC. It's probably going to be along the lines of a PC type of experience. I am not actually sure what that is, but yeah, remains to be seen. Kind of a note for the PUBG team, when you do patch notes, typically the notes are of the features actually in the patch. Small thing. I mean, I appreciate what's coming up next, but at the same time, I think half of this list is literally not in the game. So, I guess beggars can't be choosers. I do appreciate the thorough update news, and we will continue on down the list. New anti-cheating implementation, points protection against cheater kills. This is actually fantastic, and while most people shouldn't run into this often, let's at least cross our fingers and hope that they will not. This means that when you do get killed by a cheater and it's confirmed, you will not lose points for that particular encounter. Now, essentially, that means that you have points protection, similar to when you're on a tier like buffer zone. You won't actually drop down. You are protected from losing those points. Really cool, and I think that that's more than fair, and it should go a long way to kind of at least helping those out that are in the higher ranks and pushing for rank and encountered that unfortunate hacker. Next up, we do have the ability to update before May 13th to receive a radio. Excellent, a radio. I've always wanted one of those. And 2,888 BP, a randomly specific number. I'm going to go with 888s, probably lucky, I'm guessing. And then 3 Lieutenant Parsec backpack. I really do like the Lieutenant Parsec set. I started a crate opening for that particular outfit, and unfortunately, this whole login mess happened right in the middle of that video, so I didn't even get to record it. Although I did get the backpack, I did get the gun, the Kar 98, I got the, what else was there? The parachute, there was basically I got everything except for the mythics. I did not get the face, I did not get the chest, so I'm going to try to continue that video when I can log in again. And who knows when that will ever be. Maybe I'm done playing PUBG Mobile forever. I don't know. Maybe my account. Could you imagine? Did I lose my account? That would kind of suck. You guys have seen how much money I put into this thing. And time, which is much more valuable to me than money. That would suck, and I'm spooked. All right, well, it says we've made some visual updates to the classic Miramar map and added some new elements. An oasis has been added to the northern part of the map, And Urban Ruins is now to the northwest, and that includes more housing areas, roads, and resources have been added, so you'll need to pick your landing spot and battles wisely. Now, a couple of things. Oasis for me was a bit of a dud. I love the visual of the area. I love the water. I love the palm trees. I love the fact that there is literally an oasis in the desert. On the flip side, I find it hard to get around in the oasis. It's out of the way of almost every single plane path, and the loot there is less than desirable, at least in the 4 or 5 times I have dropped there. Not impressed so far, but I'm going to hold out my complete judgment until a little bit later on when I have more experience. Now, the urban ruins in the northwest, I'm a big fan of. This is a little bit more common to fly over this area. You get those diagonal plane paths quite a bit, and it kind of gives you something else to jump to besides El Pozo up in the northwest. Urban Ruins looks to be a really hot spot. Not only is it the Stonehenge-looking ruins that are up there that have been uncovered by the sand, and there's some loot there like there was before, there's an entirely new city, and that is pretty cool, pretty intriguing. And the 2 times that I have run through Urban Ruins, I have been stacked with loot, and it has been quite impressive. So I highly recommend going and checking that out if you have not done so already. Now, we also have a racetrack that runs through the whole map, and it's perfect for motorheads. A racetrack has also been added which runs through the whole map, perfect for motorheads. Well, that's excellent. All right, well, have you guys heard that there's a racetrack that's been added through the whole map? And it's perfect for motorheads. Holy crap, PUBG. Well, they need to remove one of those sentences. Clearly, there's a racetrack that runs through the whole map, perfect for motorheads. Thoughts on the racetrack that runs through the whole map? I like it. I think it's cool. I think they could have probably done a better job identifying the actual track versus just putting stakes and flags in the ground to drive through. Now, I realize that would have taken a lot more effort as far as carving out map textures, doing actual graphic design and whatnot, instead of just putting artifacts and sprites into the game with the, those, I guess, waypoints, if you want to call them that. But even with those, this is going to make for some super fun content and super fun activities on live streams with our friends and with viewers. Maybe we will have the opportunity to do some races against each other very, very soon. So looking forward to those. We also have a new map vehicle, which is the Gold Mirado. And that Gold Mirado is found at the one and only Hacienda del Patron in the garage. And it is basically the first thing people go for. So I highly recommend, if you're jumping to Hacienda, watch the garage, because people go for that thing immediately. And when they do, they have basically one opportunity to get some sort of gun spawn in that garage. And more often than not, it's like a pistol or a bandage or something not useful. So kind of keep an eye on that and see if you can take down a squad as they try to get away in that Gold Mirado. But that being said, Gold Mirado, really, really cool car, super fast, and kind of hard to finish the game actually with one intact and full of gas. So I challenge you to do that. Let me know how it goes. Next up, we've got the new vending machines. Get energy drinks or painkillers from vending machines scattered around the map. You might even be lucky enough to get 8 drinks at a time. Now, you guys have seen my video on this. If you actually probably haven't, for whatever reason, YouTube buried it when I launched it, so who knows. But my last video, which was days ago when I actually had access to the game, it is awesome. You guys, I don't know how much people realize this could change the game, even on a competitive level. Playing the Miramar map now, you no longer have to go loot, essentially, for boosts or for painkillers or for energy drinks. Literally can find a vending machine, and that can supply enough boosts for your entire squad to last out in the blue zone and edge your way in, even in the circle, for quite some time. I mean, a long, long time. So this is going to alter strategy at a minimum, and at a maximum, it could completely shift the way competitive gameplay is played, and even casual gameplay once the locations of all of those vending machines become very well known. As most folks have found out, they are in the arenas in some of the bigger cities like Pecado and El Pozo around. You know, when you find those, you can find like 25 boosts or so in those machines. It's nuts. So really like the addition of the vending machines. 2 thumbs up from me. Let me know what you think of the vending machines. Are they too powerful? Are they too impactful? Or are they just right? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Next up, we have the sandstorm effects, and there's a chance for areas in Miramar, the main menu, to be ravaged by sandstorms. And so that's something that we're seeing hinted at and teased right now, and we don't really know how that's going to roll out or be implemented just yet. Well, I mean, I do, but it remains to be seen in game. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on that until all of us can actually see it and experience it. But it shouldn't be long. 13th, tomorrow, we should be able to see Sandstorm in effect in Miramar. Next up, we've got the main menu theme. You can download the new Miramar map to get the Miramar main lobby and theme. And unfortunately, I can't get to my main lobby, which sucks. But I really like it when I did get to see it. So hopefully we can get back there soon. There's also new achievements for Miramar, which is basically you play the map and you can get multiple objectives completed and get the achievements. So just play it like you usually would. Get achievements as you go for Miramar. And for those completionists out there, you're going to want to play a lot of Miramar maps to get those achievements done and recorded. Next up, we've got Miramar events, which are basically new events, great rewards. It's all more the same. I don't really put a whole lot of stock into these events as they're just kind of there. So I don't know. Maybe you guys feel differently about them than me. Next up, here is the Blue Hole mode for Evo Ground that we were talking about. This is the Blue Hole mode. I know what this is now. I didn't realize that that's what it was called. But essentially, as you can see, there is a safe zone in the... it's not going to let us blow it up. But you know what we can do? Check it out. We will make this visual aid just a little bit bigger. There we go. So basically, Evo Ground Blue Hole mode will now have two zones, an inner zone and an outer zone. The inner zone is the newest addition, which will represent the next play zone location. Players will lose health while in the inner zone as long as the outer zone is present. Once the outer zone finishes shrinking to the inner circle, the new inner zone will appear. Interesting. All spawn supplies with a 50% increase over classic mode or angle map, and players can revive down teammates in 4 seconds instead of 10. So it's much, much faster to revive fallen teammates. Now, let's look at the map for just a second. There is now an inner zone, and don't pay attention to the red. That is the red zone. There is the white circle on the outside here. If I can show you guys with my mouse, this is the inner circle, this blue zone here. And then the outer circle is right here, all the way up to Cerverni, all the way up to Georgia Pool, and then down to the southern island down by military base. That is your outer circle. Now, anyone inside of that inner circle, well, you're going to be taking damage because you're getting too prime of position too early on, and this is going to be a very interesting dynamic. Now, again, because there's no ranked version of this, I don't know how well it's going to do. People just don't seem to play the Evo Ground modes. I don't know why. Some of them are quite good. Blue Hole mode looks like it's going to be quite good. But, you know, that remains to be seen. We'll check that out as it rolls out here in the future. We also have the new Jungle Adventure, which we have talked about a little bit. It's going to be coming out, it looks like, next month. During the event, when searching for a match in Sandhawk, there's a random chance to enter the new Jungle Adventure mode, and it's going to add a variety of features that are not currently found in Sandhawk, which is a totem. You can invoke their power for a chance to receive an item or a blessing. And then there's jungle food, which is basically fruit and other foods that grow in the wild, and eating them may grant mysterious effects. There's a hot air balloon, which you can control to survey the battlefield, which is kind of cool. You can float above and go check things out. So that'll be really interesting. So here is the P90. We talked about that. We talked about the Canted site. Security features we talked about. That's the hacking protection, essentially. There's a new detailed results on the end of the screen. I personally have really liked this because it allows me to see how I performed with a particular weapon. There's been multiple weapons where, or multiple games end that I was like, oh, I wonder how I did with the Winchester 94. And I was like, oh, sick. I had 65% accuracy with that gun. Hey, that's pretty good, right? So just being able to see that kind of statistic at the end of the game and feel like validated about it, I really, really like this detailed results page. I hope they continue building upon it. They've added 5 grading criteria in the results screen to change the rating system and rating display, and they've added new titles and filters in the results screen. I noticed I was a Conqueror, and I was like, wait a minute, when did I get Conqueror? But I think that was for something else. I don't know. There's been settings improvements. There's a new configuration copy button, which is great. That's anything to make doing your interface better is better, like more easy. That's what we're looking for. Sensitivity settings now stored in the cloud. I've been waiting for this for so long. As somebody with literally phone after phone after phone after, I literally have 5 phones on my desk right now. It's very annoying to be partnered with OnePlus And not only to be partnered with OnePlus, that came out wrong. OnePlus, don't hate me. It's annoying to be partnered with a phone manufacturer who sends you a new phone, which is meant to be a good thing, a kind gesture, and all of a sudden you suck at your video games now because it's like I have to reset all of my settings. And you know that muscle memory that when you finally get those perfect buttery smooth sensitivities, you want to keep them. And when you were loading up on new devices in the past, well, you lost your sensitivity and you had to redial everything in to what you thought might be right. Well, now those cloud settings will save that and transfer it immediately. So when you do get sent a beautiful new device by OnePlus, you guys can actually just immediately start playing on it because the settings are stored in the clouds, which is beautiful. I guess in the cloud, singular, not in the clouds. That would be weird. Next up, we've got the death replay improvements. Improve the death replay to reduce your... I don't know, man. The death replay to me is very sketchy. It says it may have lag or some display issues to ensure performance. How about we don't ensure performance? Because if there are display issues or lag, what is the actual point of displaying the death cam? Like, for real. Like, why do I want to see where I know somebody was? Like, it showed me where they were when they shot me. If I can't see how it happened because of lag or performance, why do I care? So that is something I hope they improve. I feel like that was, we can't make it work right, therefore we will come up with, this is a feature for your benefit to kind of spin it positively. That's something I'm surmising. I'm not, confirming that to be true, but that's just the way it kind of appears to me. We've got weapon and attachment improvements. We talked about the Winchester 94, but the S1897, well, aiming down the sights. So when you're aiming your gun, that will actually not unscope when you go to reload. So instead of unscoping and reloading your shells into the gun, it'll stay here and you'll load those shells into the side, pump the shotgun, and then boom. Done deal. So you're good to go with that pump shotty. And then you got improvements to bullet marks. And this was really, really cool because you can now guess which direction those bullets are coming from based on like the skid marks, impact marks. Certainly not skid marks. I mean, yeah, they're not skid marks. Don't worry about what I just said. The bullet impact marks leave a trail in the direction that the shots came from. So just, shoot a crate or something the next time you're in the game. Notice how that changes, and it's actually pretty cool. So when somebody's shooting by you and they hit a wall, look at the wall and see where those came from. It might help you pinpoint those shots in combination with the audio cues and the visual cues from the minimap. Next up, we've got the trajectory path to crossbow bolts, which basically is going to make it easier to judge the flight path of each bolt. Excited for that. Can't wait. I'm going to be clocking some crossbow kills. I'm going to be probably doing a video on that soon. We've got light grip improvements, and the new effect is significantly increases the stability when firing and the speed of recoil recovery. I feel like light grip may have just supplanted the angled foregrip as the move when it comes to your foregrip choice. So light grip, definitely recommend it. Give it a try. We also have improved the stability of sight animation when moving with the sight activated. Interesting. So when you're moving, being able to actually fire might be a thing. I mean, maybe these guys have stopped walking like absolute a-holes, and now they have like a tactical grip on their AR, and you can actually, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the SWAT or FBI storm a house. It's possible to keep your sight from moving like crazily, so I'm glad they've improved the stability there. Flare gun improvements, guys. When holding the flare gun or opening your backpack, players will see the type of supply that will be summoned by the flare gun. We're talking either supply crate or BRDM. Now, for me, I feel like it's cool, I guess, but why do we have to make it so dumbed down? We could have just looked at our mini-map and our position within the zone to see if we are inside the safe zone or outside the safe zone. If you're outside, you're getting a BRDM. If you're inside, you're getting I don't know. Maybe it's helpful for new players. I'm being too critical here. New players that do not understand why they might get one or the other, but I feel like the feature of a flare gun has been in the game long enough to where, what is it? I think it was the 0.5 update when flare guns came in. So it's been quite, a year and a half basically since we've had flare guns in the game. And at this point, anybody that plays PUBG Mobile knows what they are and what they summon and where they summon them. So low-hanging fruit maybe for the UI team here, but I guess a good thing for new players, but for experienced players, it's a ho-hum, whatever. Firearm balancing. This is the interesting stuff for me. Significant shotgun adjustments, including the S1897, the 686, the S12K, sawed-off, and DBS, basically all shotguns. The spread has been remodeled so the bullets are spread more evenly around the crosshair for more consistent damage. So basically, tighter spread, and they have actually reduced the damage of these shotguns. I will get to that in a minute. Looks like it's a little bit further down the list. But the spread range of the shotguns has been slightly reduced to increase accuracy in mid and close range encounters. This is good. I cannot tell you how many times I've shot people in the head, point blank, and they lived. Like, in what world is that a reality? Not this one. Muzzle climb has been increased for shotguns, no change to recoil, so the climb of the muzzle will actually be a little bit higher. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it honestly matters too much, with the exception of the S12K where you're rapidly firing. The max effective range of shotguns has been changed to 80 meters, except for the DBS, which has a max effective range of 100 meters. So the DBS, basically, I'm assuming, is shooting slugs, or it still probably is a spray, but it's much more effective than the other shotguns at range. The S1897's rack speed has been increased by 20%, so it's going to reload much quicker, as if, think of it like a bullet loop being attached to a Kar 98. So that's kind of the S1897 now. We also have the damage decrease that I was talking about. The sawed-off now shoots 9 pellets, increased from 8, but the damage has been decreased. 20 is the new value per pellet, down from 22, and then the shotgun's damage, not the sawed-off, but the other damage on shotguns has been decreased from 1.5 to 1.2 for headshots, and 1.0 to 0.9 for body shots. So tighter spread, lower damage. I don't know if this is a buff or a nerf. We'll have to play this out by ear, but hopefully it's a buff, because shotguns, I do feel like we're a little bit underpowered, especially at close to mid-range. Next up, we've got the vertical spread of duckbills being slightly enhanced. So a lot of shotgun changes. Again, we'll have to dive in and really see what that's all about. Classic mode improvements as well. Dude, this is a huge update. There is a lot of stuff going on here. I've been speeding through this, and there is still lots more. So, pressing the attack button while using drugs. Why do they say that? While using drugs will interrupt the action. Cancel the effect of the drug, maintain the continuity of battle. So, at least if you're shooting heroin, you can press attack, and it will interrupt the action to keep the continuity of battle. Just saying. Improved bloodstain effects displayed when health is decreased due to being attacked, so you're going to see it more now. The screen will now shake. The screen now shakes when fights are in close quarters or being attacked by other players in close combat. So that's going to be interesting. It'll probably be a little bit more of a visceral experience. Throwable crosshair improvements, highlighting the higher or low to signify whether you have high toss or low toss on. Just another indicator in case you could not read the big bold letters that say high or low toss. But I guess it's appreciated because you don't have to take your eyes off the crosshair anymore, which is cool. Added an unequipped function to quick scope switch, which is great, because like when I'm rocking an AK and I pick up a 4X early on in the game, like I want to take that off and go iron sights, especially like rolling around in Paradise or something. Give me the iron sights. I love the AK iron sights. Now an unequipped button on the scope switch. Love this change. Backpack is full or almost full. Players will still automatically pick up recommended weapons, attachments, and armor on the ground. Oh dear, thank you, baby Jesus. Finally, that change needed to happen. Backpack is full or almost full. Players will still pick up the items that you want instead of just staring at them like, duh, what do I do with this? Yeah, we don't want that anymore. So that's cool. Good change. Big fan of that one. Improve the battle chat logs so the latest chat information is displayed by default. I think some people will like that. Improve the shape and transparency of enemy location markers. Hopefully they're a little bit more accurate, like to where you mark them. They're way off to the right in the past. Hopefully that's fixed. Tap expired check marks in the chat log to display them again. Yo, that's massive. How many times have you marked, yo, I got a level 3 vest here. I got supplies. And then it goes away and you're like, where are the supplies? I don't know where the supplies are. You can actually go back and see where the marks have been made. That's really cool. Synchronize the combat status of teammates. So the teammate status in the upper left corner of the combat UI indicates whether a teammate is engaged or... Yeah, that's cool. You'll be able to see if your teammate is engaged or not in combat. Improve the health bar so it's more obvious when a player has low health. Improve voice messaging in battle. Pressing and holding voice will now play new sound effects. Okay, cool. Added display of damage to the death replay. That's great. Drop tactic options. I skipped a couple. Improve the teammate location marker feature for teammates outside the minimap to minimize UI interference. That's good, I think. Added headlights, great. So drop tactics can be chosen. Oh yeah, you don't have to follow. You can actually choose the same drop. Players that have chosen the same drop tactic will be placed in the same team if possible. So that's kind of cool. You guys can figure out if you want a hot drop or not. Hot drop, slow and steady are the options. So starting from season 13, kill to death ratio will be changed to average KD per match. So how do you do on an average map versus like how can you like cherry pick overall your K to D? Because some people are like getting 2 kills and then like getting that chicken dinner just for lurking. It doesn't really accurately describe their capabilities as a player. Whereas those that are going out and slaying out and getting 15 kills a game and winning the games, that's what you really want to celebrate. And I like this change. Low performance devices will see better battery consumption. And yeah, looking good for those. Lots of bug fixes. Checking any of those. Fixed a bug which sometimes causes players to fall to their death when jumping off a moving pickup. So that's good. We got the cheer park, which is actually cool. There it is. You guys can see it's like a training grounds, but you can accommodate up to 20 players at a time in here. And it has most of the basic training ground features and lets players interact with each other in real time. You can view the information of other players, chat, interact with emotes, and add friends from here. This is fantastic. You can team up with other players and play matches in various modes. One thing that I really like from this new training area is you can actually queue up for a match directly from this training area. Love this. Players can invite their friends to interact and roast chicken together in the cheer park. So really, really cool. You can also do some other various activities like duel. You can players can have 1v1 duels with other players. You can do the hunt game, which is features in anniversary celebrations and also available in cheer park. You can give that a try. I haven't done that one yet, but I have done the duel. Shooting range is a way to show off your shooting skills and complete against other players in the cheer park. You can also share your results in chats. Really cool. I love this social interactive experience. Royale Pass Season 13, I'll have a video on that dropping soon, so I'm not even going to cover it. Okay, gun craft finishes. This is what I was hoping to read about. You can obtain weapons to customize the color, patterns, and emblems of the finishes. Players can edit emblems by overlapping basic images to create emblems they like. Weapon finish materials can be obtained from the wheel, but some materials can be purchased directly. Graffiti can also be exchanged for stickers that can be applied to weapons as a finish. So there is gun crafting. Interesting. Gonna keep that in mind as I potentially make my very own PB Car 98 skin. It's long overdue, PUBG, just saying. But there's an arms, lots of stuff happening in there. I don't really care about any of that, so I am gonna skip it. New achievements. Lots of stuff we talked about for Miramar. And unlinking accounts, don't care. Let's see here. Improvements to play another match. You can reduce the total play another match. Countdown timer, interaction methods have been improved. Now we're getting into the weeds here. Like features improvements, team invite improvements. Up to 3 invites can be viewed at once. That's kind of cool. Or is it? I'm just going to be spammed, I think. Added a new currency called AG, which is Ace Gold. After the update, all silver rewards will be replaced with AG in events. This will not be implemented for events that started before the update. The price of most items purchasable with UC in the shop will be changed to an AG price. When a player doesn't have enough AG, UC can be used to make up for the difference. Royale Pass UC rewards will now... Okay, so there's a new currency? Interesting. So improve the 30 UC crate, adjust the items from the crate, and change the default draw price to 300 AG. Interesting. So it looks like AG is 10x the amount of UC as far as the conversion. Wow. Okay, so the resource expansion pack has been divided into 3 packs for better download. We've got character creation, season recap. Yeah, man, I think that's it. That is it. We've gone over the entire update. This has been an incredibly long video. I did not have any idea that it was going to take this long to go through all of it. But that being said, guys, what do you think of the new update for Miramar? Mad Miramar, Miramar 2.0, whatever you want to call it. What are you thinking? For me personally, Miramar is one of my favorite maps, and I like it. Overall, this has been one of my favorite updates to date. For whatever reason, it seems just to add a lot of unique flair to the actual gameplay. The roads, the buildings, like all of that stuff. Very excited to see how that changes things for the better or worse, who knows. But the racetrack, there's a lot of innovation happening in this update. I'm a fan. Let me know what your favorite features are in the comments below. And again, I'm sorry that I don't have gameplay this video. As you can see, we're working on it. We're still trying to log in here. Let's click this one more time. And we are still logged in with the newer version of the game. It can no longer log in with an older version. Please update to the newest version. Well, PUBG, I'm trying. Hopefully you can get me logged in before my live stream that's going to be tomorrow and the next day. So yeah, if you guys aren't already following me, definitely do that. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support of the channel. And I will be back soon with more PUBG Mobile videos. Until next time, this is Powerbang. Mwah. Love ya. See you soon.